Hey, what's up guys? It's Kirk from Laneflix Media. How are we doing today? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about a movie called Mama from 2013, directed by Andy Muschietti. This is a film that got me into horror. I was never a big horror guy. I grew up in a real, we'll say restrained household as far as like horror, like bad movies go. So I had seen it, I think a year after it came out, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I thought it was interesting that horror film could be more than just scary. It could be deep, it could have emotion. Spoilers, this whole thing is going to be spoilers. So if you have not seen Mama, it's awesome. It's got some good scares in it, I think. If you get the lights out and it's dark, you're not playing with your phone, it's a good movie. Basically, the beginning is very noir, like almost a cop movie. It kind of starts as, because you hear about some happenings, some goings on, and then you're kind of panning into this house with a car out front and stuff like that. You hear a gunshot. Then it goes to the people in the house, and you see that it's a father and two daughters. And the older daughter, I believe, asks, "Where's mommy?" And he says, "Mommy's not feeling very well." So you kind of get that. You get that there's something going on, and there's some kind of panic at a company over some big scandal or fallings out. I honestly can't remember. The father is the guy from the company, you find out. So he's driving the two girls away from the house. They're just trying to get away, and he's obviously very distraught. And the little girls ask him, "Why are you driving so fast, blah blah blah," and then he ends up crashing, and then they show a whole other scene. I don't really want to get into that though. That's kind of more, you should just watch the movie. But then they go into the fact that he has a brother, twin brother, looks just like him, same actor. He is wanting custody of his brother's children after they find them and bring them back into society, because he loves them, and he loved his brother a lot, and you know that just right off the bat. And Jessica Chastain plays the wife, or the girlfriend of the brother, this guy. I think Luke is the brother's name that is still around, that takes custody of the daughters. Oh yeah, Jessica Chastain is really, I think, awesome in this. She goes all out as far as a slacker, punk rocker type person, and I think she plays it really well. And I also think she pulls off the emotional stuff really well, because later on in the movie, she's very resistant to, this big change in Luke and her life. She essentially is just like, "I'm not doing this, like whatever," like. And then she's talking to one of her band friends, and she's like, "You didn't sign up for this," and blah blah blah. And so there's a lot of drama there, and something happens to Luke to where Jessica Chastain has to take care of the kids. And there's a scene, I believe, right after that, that is probably my favorite scene in the movie. I'm glossing over a lot of stuff because I didn't want to get into spoilers with this, because it's a cool movie, so just go check it out. I love old school movie trickery, and there's just a flat shot, and you get, I'll put a still of it in here, right here. And you see that the little girl is playing with someone in the room, but then you see the sister walk up in the through the hallway, and you're like, "What?" And then I think she walks back out, and then Jessica Chastain starts walking up to the bedroom where the younger sister is, and she's still she's playing tug of war with a blanket with somebody, and you're like, okay. And the sister calls her, so there's some other entity that's actually in the house playing with this kid, not just in her imagination like the psychologist. There's a psychologist early on that is trying to sway the foster parents and the court to thinking that it's just a psychological repression type thing that they manifested when they lost all the both their parents. They manifested this mama creature, and really it's there. She's there. She's a ghost. She is the manifestation of her grief that she endured when she lost her child to the church. But I love the fact that it kind of goes back to that old school idea of how, like, Frankenstein or the Mummy, like, they're just looking for love. They're looking to be loved and to be accepted. And essentially that's what Mama wants too. The whole movie you go and she's like a monster and she's kind of scary, and but by the end you realize that she's just wanted what she had. She had there's a whole backstory, and basically this woman in the 1800s, I believe, had a child out of wedlock. So, oh my God, everybody started, condemning her and wanting to hurt her and take her child, and they did take her child. The church actually had her child, and it seemed like they were taking good care of it, but she didn't seem like she was fully psychologically there. The mom, the mother. It kind of shows you through a POV thing that she gets upset and goes back into a church. They show Jessica Chastain is sleeping, and they show her in her sleep seeing a POV kind of like like a dream, and she is Mama, and yeah, they show her and the baby running, and then because she goes and takes her from the nuns, so she's running away. People are coming after her. I think someone stabs her or something. She gets blood on her hand, and then she puts her hand over her face, and his fingers wrap around her head. It's ungodly. It's very unnatural. Which it's Javier Botet, but he's a very tall, lanky guy, and he physically plays Mama. So anyway, you kind of see the grief that Mama has been through, and the reason she's kind of manifested instead of just like haunting, By the end of the movie, I don't really want to get into the conclusion, just like I said, go watch it. But there's a pretty satisfying and very different type ending to one of these movies that I did not expect at all. So I wanted to talk a little bit about when I first saw this movie. I loved the visuals. The visuals of the film are stark and focused and beautiful and very detailed. Like when the father, towards the beginning, when the father's taking the daughters through the forest and it's snowy, you see the little chips of ice in the snow, and you see little crystals of ice on the ground, and you see little drops of water on the leaves. I mean, it's extraordinary to me. I love the visuals. I love the look of Mama. I wanted to talk a lot about how Javier Botet is I hope I'm saying that right, is physically acting, and they're adding CG around him. So it's really interesting because they had makeup and effects working together, and I think that's kind of the difference here. It's not just a CG monster. There's some physicality, there's some acting going on other than just motion capture. The guy was really there in the makeup, with the elongated finger. I'm pretty sure they did up his fingers to be a little too long, because his fingers are really long. It's a really cool creature. It's one of my favorite modern horror movie monsters for sure. I think it's awesome that they brought back old school, and they were trying to work together new school effects to kind of work together to make a new style of effect. And the director of this movie, Andy Muschietti, went on to direct the It films. When I heard the guy that did Mama was doing It, I was very excited, because I knew it would be a darker, scarier twist on It, even creepier than Pennywise before. And they did it in 2 parts. So say what you will about the 2 films, but I really like the first It. I think it's a really solid horror movie, especially for the modern audience. again, it brought old school and new school stuff and kind of mashed it together. And that's the best thing you can do, in my opinion, because it kind of helps progress, because you're not ignoring the future, but you're also still utilizing the things you know that work from the past. So I love that. And now he's doing the Flash movie, which I think, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's crazy that these Marvel and DC movies are going so overboard with the multiverse stuff. But I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. So I'm probably going to go see it just because of Michael Keaton. If Michael Keaton is Batman in anything, I'll go see it. I love him. I'm going to talk a little bit more about some trivia. Oh, I wanted to give credit to the director of photography, Antonio Riestra. He did the cinematography for this film, and like I said, I love it. I think he did a great job, and kudos to you. Wait, I thought it was interesting that the psychologist's name was Dreyfuss, because that's, I think, an obvious nod to Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws that was trying to help figure out the whole shark situation. And so there's a point where Annabelle, Jessica Chastain's character, is watching television, and she sees a movie with a young Bruce Dern kind of walking across the screen in a bathrobe. She says, "Nice butt, Bruce," and it's a reference to Silent Running. And yeah, there's a little dark comedy in this too, because towards the beginning, when the father, the original, like the dad of the children, when he's driving them away, he has a license plate on the front of his car that says "Number 1 Dad," and it's like, ugh, because he's going to, you know what's happening there. I don't really want to get into that, but yeah, that's. And then later on, when the Uncle Luke falls down the stairs, and an Exorcist reference, which I thought was pretty cool. Exorcist or Psycho reference, I guess. It could be either or. It cuts right to the kid and the slap chop commercial, and it's, So there's a little dark humor in this, but I think I may be looking a little bit too into it, but I think that Uncle Luke falling down the stairs was a Psycho or Exorcist reference. And then I also think that the scene with Annabelle, Jessica Chastain, and the little girl in the kitchen, when she jump scares her in the kitchen, I think that a reference to Poltergeist, because in Poltergeist, obviously, you had the mom, JoBeth Williams, that was in the kitchen, and the camera kind of goes over to her, and you see her, and then she looks over, and then there's like a bunch of chairs stacked on the table. So, little reference to that, because it was mom in the kitchen, jump scare type thing. I don't know. Could be wrong. This movie, like I said, this is the first movie I watched, first horror film I watched that let me know that it could be more than just scary, and it could resonate with you inside as a person. So go watch this. I think it's a good gateway horror movie. It's a good movie to kind of watch to get into horror movies, I think, because it gives you a good taste of the modern day and some old school stuff. It's got a creepy monster and an interesting story, so yeah, go check it out. Like I said, I think it's on Hulu right now, and yeah, I have it on Blu-ray. It's one of my personal favorites. I'm going to do a series on YouTube called Favorite Series, and comment and let me know what you think. If you know anybody that really digs movie reviews, that really likes talking about movies, please tell them about my channel. I'm trying to work as much as I can on doing new videos on proper movie discussions and movies that people do want to talk about, movies that people would be interested in talking about. If there's anything you guys want me to review, I would love to hear them. If not, then just please like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. I need all the help I can get getting this channel going. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. We're on Twitter and we're on Instagram. Twitter is I'll put it here, @LaneFlixMedia. And then my Instagram is @laneflix.media. So, yeah, please go follow and comment and yeah, just get in touch. I'd love to talk about movies with you. Have a great day.